Howdy folks, TJ here. It's been a little while since I've done a battle between the Atari 2600 and my Odyssey 2. Thought I would bring it up again and do a little bit of a light game battle between the two. On this one it was a little bit more difficult to find something exact, but I think it's close enough to where we can kind of draw some comparisons. So what we're going to do, on top of my TV here, I've got some voice compatible games. Whoa! I've got stuff about to fly all over the place. So on the Odyssey 2, the game is called Attack. See if the lighting can get it in here, because I've got my lighting kind of pointing up over here. Attack of the Timelord. And this game is kind of like a Galaxian type of game. And when I started researching, I don't own Galaga or Galaxian on my 2600, but fortunately I've got the Harmony cart, and the closest I could find was Galaxian. That looks like it was an official game back in the early 80s that you could buy for the 2600. And the Galaxian is more like a Space Invaders, but periodically the ships or creatures kind of fly down at you, which is kind of similar to Attack of the Timelord. And we're going to kind of, since I own this one and I have a little booklet that I can read through, we'll kind of go through all those motions together. But let's see if can kind of get the, here's the front of the box. Kind of move it around a little bit. Here's the back. And Attack of the Timelord Challenger Series, voice enhanced. And as you know, I've got the voice on my Odyssey 2, so that's going to be cool. 4 different kinds of weapons assault you simultaneously. 256 different challenge levels. Millions of strategic combinations. It's a voice enhanced game. And they called it part of their Challenger series. And I gotta say, the cover on this looks really cool. Odyssey cases are always bitchin'. And actually the spaceships give me a little bit, I'm a Boston fan, Boston the group. You know, more than a feeling. I've got a terrible voice. But some of the spaceships have that, you know, feeling to it. As normal, the Odyssey has a nice little flap that opens up. And we've got the cartridge here. Typical Odyssey 2 cartridge. Attack of the Timelord, press 1. That's the option. And it looks like this is dated 1982. And I think the Galaxian game, if I'm not mistaken, was 1983, so around the same time. Let's go ahead and... oh! This one's got a little treat. I've never, by the way, played the Odyssey game, this particular Attack of the Timelord. But inside Odyssey 2, the keyboard is the key to over 50 games. Little booklet. I've never seen this before. On the back, again, you're probably not viewing this stuff, and I've got lighting kind of pointing this direction, but Odyssey 2 Adventure is your kind of magazine. It includes all the latest Odyssey 2 news information. So it looks like they had a subscribe today. I never got that magazine. That would have been so cool to get. But this is a little catalog that's got all sorts of cool information about the Odyssey. I'm going to have to thumb through this later. It even covers the voice cartridge. And by the way, if you've ever tried to remove the voice unit from the Odyssey 2, it's a little difficult. So I'll do something on this later on. I don't want to make this video 5 hours long, but a little booklet. And here's the actual booklet. So, it looks just like the cover. Ba ba ba. Hopefully the lighting's good enough picking that up. So, I'm going to try to skim through this as quickly as possible. Right away, this page kind of grabs you right away. You've got, almost makes me think of Sinistar. You're gonna die! You know, that kind of thing. What did the Sinistar say? Run, run, or something like that. I'll have to go and Google it. That game was cool. Press 1 on the alphanumeric keyboard. You have just attracted the attention of Spyrus, the deathless Time Lord of Chaos. Now, when I think of Time Lord, I think of Doctor Who. I don't think this has anything to do with Doctor Who. Spyrus, the deathless Time Lord of Chaos. So that's the guy in the middle there. Little skull-looking dude. You have just I've already said that. You're the only defense in a laser cannon mounted on the leading edge of your time machine. Fortunately, you have an unlimited supply of laser energy. You'll need it. Press the action button on the left hand of your fire to laser your cannon. Use the joystick of the left-hand control to maneuver your time machine at the base of the screen. It will travel in direction you move your joystick. Yeah, that's pretty common sense. Time machine. So at the bottom it's showing time machine, and then time warp, which is that middle thing, which I guess we'll see, and then time ships, which are going to start flying all around. Level 1, the Time Lord's fleet of time ships will bombard you with missiles. Your score points for each you score. That's just nice reading. It's been a long day work-wise, so pardon me. Your score points for each missile and the time ship destroyed. If you destroy all the time ships, the game will automatically proceed to level 2. Cool. All right. Level 2, the Time Lord is beginning to take you seriously. The next fleet he sends through the warp is armed with missiles and antimatter mines. These are launched in various combinations. If you evade destruction and destroy the fleet, the game will progress to level 3. And I'm not going to show you these pictures. We'll experience it on screen when the time comes. Level 3. Gee, it's talking about each level here. Interesting. The next fleet you encounter carries the much-feared lethal annihilators in its arsenals. These weapons will home in on you and require swift, evasive action. If you succeed in destroying the fleet, the game automatically progresses to level 4. It's funny. Level 4. You have now earned the Time Lord's respect. This is very mixed blessing. The next fleet has the legendary nucleonic time killers as part of its weapons systems. These destroyers are extremely lethal because they're piloted by expendable robots programmed to anticipate human reactions. She knows. As you go through the entire 256 game levels, you'll face increasingly faster time ships and gradually greater firepower. So it seems like it's going to cycle through all these 4 main levels, but then get increasingly faster and harder. The Time Lord will just deploy his weapons like a chess master deploys his pieces. There are literally millions of possible combinations of weapons, timing and placement. Your evasion of the weapon of one kind can put you right in path of another. Your time machine will disintegrate on contact with any of the Time Lord's weapons. The game will automatically start at level 1. So as a normal Odyssey game, you have 1 life, which makes sense, right? And you die, but you get to come back here and keep playing. Level, 1 death, then you come back. That's how it works. All right, cool. Scoring. Missiles are 2 points. Antimatter mines, 4 points. Time ships, 5 points. Annihilators, 8 points. Time killers, 16 points. The score of each game is displayed at the lower right corner of the screen. The highest score in a series of games is shown at the lower left corner of the screen. 6 question marks request the name of the high-scoring player. Enter any name up to 6 letters through the keyboard. If the name is shorter than 6 letters, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure you're getting tired of this already, but I'm making a video. I'm going to just run with it here. To start a new scoring cycle, press reset. If you press 0, the Time Lord's transmission frequency will be jammed. He will not reappear each time you destroy a fleet of his time ships. So I don't want to do that. So I read the whole booklet. So I'm not going to have that liberty to do on Galaxian because I don't have the cartridge. I didn't get the book or any of that stuff. So we're going to mostly play the Odyssey 2 game, which is, my favorite part. Even though I like the 2600. And then we'll kind of just generally compare it to the Atari, similar type of game. We're going to play the Atari one first, though, because that's the one I just quickly made sure my Harmony cart worked with. So let's go ahead and turn on the TV. And we're going to move in closer here and play it. already at 10 minutes. Ooh boy, this is going to be a long video. And I'm sure I can edit a little bit out. So, Harmony cartridge. Using my joystick to go down to... I had to put it in homebrews. And I've got Galaxian. So right off the bat, and I quickly just played this a few seconds ago just to make sure it worked. I've got to say, for a Atari 2600 game, this looks really good. Graphics are very colorful. It's got multicolored graphic characters. And the movement is really fast. The spaceship looks good. The explosions look good. And this is from 1983. Much better than Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. So I'm impressed with the quality of the graphics. So let's go ahead and actually play a game. Maybe I need to turn up the volume a little bit. Oh! So that's... The Timelord port has kind of this, little ships flying down at you. So that's why I selected this game. There was a game called Galaxian, but I think it's a modern... it's kind of like Galaga, which I think the Attack of the Time Lords game is more like. But it wasn't one they sold back in the 80s. I think it's a modern game that somebody has made as a homebrew. And I don't own it, and I may explore that and buy that at some point. But for this video, I'm just going to compare similar games. Sound is really good. Whoa. Explosions are good. Characters are moving fast. This is one of the better Atari 2600 games, really, that I've played so far. Oh. Whoa! My joystick's not moving too well. I think I'm going to have to replace this one. Holy shoot! Got him! Finally! We're just going to play one round of this until I die. And then we'll play my Odyssey 2 game. Oh! Turned up the volume a little bit. Gotta say, this game is really cool. Oh! Look at that. That looks great. I've got to say, this is one I'm going to have to try to buy used on eBay because I want to see the booklet and read through. Maybe there's some options for difficult levels and stuff. But this is a really impressive game for Atari. I've got to say, I'm blown away. This looks awesome. Great sound, great graphics, pretty punctual movement of the spaceship. My joystick is a bit worn. It wasn't moving quite right for me, but yeah, stellar. Really good. So let's go ahead and we're going to turn this one off. That's loud. Let me try to swap out cartridges here. Glad I had that switch box back there. Remember that switch box I just reviewed? So I've got A, B, and C. I can switch through stuff quick. So cool. I'm going to pull this all a little bit closer. You know, I'm going to have to, I think, move my Odyssey a little further up. So I have more space here. So select game. So like I said, I've never played this one before. So wish me luck. Let's put this down here. Number 1. Oh! Oh! Crap! the voice is doing its thing. This is awesome. So, you know, graphically, it's not as nice as Galaxian, but it's got a certain panache to it. I don't know what the word. Oh! Yeah, it's kick-ass. And it had voice back then. Now the movement of the ship is really fast.
Attack and destroy.
Protect and destroy. I think that's what he said.
Prepare for defeat.
Now, I don't know what the hell he just said. He said something. It wasn't nice, I'm sure. Whoa! Those are... Oh, that little sucker's going to the... Lands down on the ground and all of a sudden start... Oh!
The planet.
I guess that was level 3 maybe, right? Is that how far I got? So the graphics are just cool enough in this. These little, you know, things out of the time, whatever they're called, you know, they look alright, but the color alternating through them looks really cool. So I can dig it. They're fast! I can't get this sucker! Oh, got him finally. Sheesh.
Defeat is at hand.
Bing dong dong ding dong dong. I don't know what he was saying. So that animated part at the beginning there, when the Time Lord does his thing, is really kind of cool. And this game is definitely intensely fast. I'm going to say more like Galaga would have been.
Destroy the Earthling.
Go, 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 go! Oh!
And destroy.
I think that's probably sufficient for you to get an idea of how the game is. Graphically, the Atari 2600 definitely, in my book, I think wins overall. You know, the characters coming down have got cool animation, great colors. Really, that's probably, to me, so far, 2600, one of the best games I've played on it. Now, I still have my heart-loving Odyssey 2. Out of the Odyssey games I've ever played, that one is really cool. The little spaceship things that, and I shouldn't keep calling them spaceships because they're not. I was told at the beginning what their names were. Let's go back and read it, like, just so I can remember. Will it, so, yeah, they're time ships. Time ships. And the middle thing is the time warp. And I'm in the time machine. All right? Cool. So, they change colors, which looks really cool. They look more like a little saucer-shaped character, which is fine. I think the explosion was really cool. The Time Lord, the mean chaos. He's Spyrus. I shouldn't be calling him Time Lord. I think I said that accidentally earlier. Spyrus, the deathless Time Lord of Chaos. Still a great game. Odyssey 2, kick butt. I would have loved the heck out of that game if I didn't own Atari 2600 back in the day, which I didn't. So, but I didn't own this one back in the day. This is the first time I've ever played it. So, very cool. I'm going to, you know, I normally try to grade each of these, but at this point, if I was to actually grade which one is better per se, I would say probably Galaxian wins. But overall, fun to play. equal. For me, I would enjoy both of them as much. And I think the fast pace of the Odyssey 2 game is really cool. And I'm sure there's some things I need to read up more about to learn how to play this game better. But a quick little jaunt through it. I'm impressed. Love it. The sound effects kind of cool. And overall, I give them both a great grade A. So, cool. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace. See you later.